třeba vůbec nelíbí tady dole. Pinterest. Yes. No jak to je? Anatomii. Skrutes. No, mi se dá koupit knížka o anatomii. Co mají teďka 3 asi. Ale sem tam dávají i do třeba na Facebooku zadarmo ty stránky z toho. Třeba nějak tomu dá trošku lepší tvar té ruce. Když se je toho vůbec nelíbí. Je to takové... Není to moc zajímavé, no. Ne, asi otevřu. To PDF teda z toho anatomii. Nechci. Kolikátou stránku? 82. Že by to vždycky šlo nějaký ten tu referenci, co mám, no. No dobře. Ta druhá ruka nejde vidět, když na to celkem jednou. No tady je to tak, že tady by měl tenhle sval vést normálně pod to. Ještě byla jedna knížka. To je, co to jmenovalo, tyjo. Bylo pro kulturisty. Francouzská taková. Jo, tady tohle se jmenuje Strength Training a tam jsou třeba pěkně nakreslené obrázky jako toho svalových těch. A akorát, že nevím, jestli je někde aspoň lehký náhled dovnitř. No. Tam je něco takového. Takovou něco podobná, není to stejné, ale podobné obrázky rozpracované normálně partie. Nevím, jestli to stejné ze stejné knížky, ale to podobné. No, se větší. Tak nějak. Udělám asi větší biceps trošičku. Já doufám, že prostě ta ruka to není úplně reálná, je to takový vlastně karton mix. Protože tady to teda vytučené. Měly by nějak ty. No tady pod tím pořád tak. Někde ta kost. Se dívám na to, na první 2 díly Sandmana na Netflixu a je to na Disney Plus je Prey pokračování Predátora, nebo pokračování jako ten prequel, sequel, něco takového. A trošku zmenším, udělám ty ramena. To je vždycky od lightu. No, to určitě jsem ještě neviděl teda. No, nevím, jestli do toho půjdu teda. Ale hraje tam Winter Soldier, tak možná je to nějaký sequel ke Kapitánovi Americe. Když vlastně, no. A já jsem se dneska na Disney pustil na ten, na Voliho s dětskama, ale přišlo mi, že normálně tam byl zvuk, tam nebyl v synchronizaci nějak to. Přišlo mi to trošku, že to bylo jinak. Že to bylo offset. Nedělám nějaké takové záhyby, to možná bylo dobré dotáhnout až pod to tady totiž je možné. Ten triceps je asi až pod ramenem, že jo. Já jsem někde viděl, že ten Oro měl někde jako vysuchané. Andrej vypadají trošku jinak, no. Ale jo. Tady by potom asi měl být výkroj, normálně, že tam bude to. No, tam měl takové jako, ne až úplně random, ale takové různé spoje to vypadá tak jako jakože lidsky. Mhm. A prostě to pořád vypadá blbě. Já tady trošku přidám. Přidej to. Škoda. No, dej to. Tady ta část je teďka hodně taková jako že nutná, no, tam prostě není. Tady by mohl být jako trošku jakože štěvečko jeden. Hej, paparino. Papitorino. Papitorino. Hi, papo. Can't say that fast. Papitorino. You mean these hairs? This hair or some other? These are just tubes. Because you could draw into the air. If object is with no subdivs, you could take a curve tube and just drag. And if you set the stroke functions, there is a modification size, and you could set the size, and let's make something like this. And if you set the size, flip, or you could modify this curve to create something a bit different. And you just drag, take it and there's a new brush, extrude profile brush, and there are shapes like hair, cartoon hair or 3D hair. But there's some kind of setting, strange setting for start of a curve. Basically, most of the time I create a curve, and after that I swap to extrude and click on it, because there is a topo brush and it creates a curve as well. It's a snap curve, and you could switch again. Or you can sculpt the head, create a basic shape, and refine with curves. Yeah, there is a fiber mesh as well for these types of things, but it's too heavy, you know. It's not good for 3D printing. It's more like real hair. menu gizmo. Yes, it's a basic tool, because even there is option if you unlock the gizmo and you click this, it swap to center of the selection. And a mask, and that's you could combine that with if you press the Y key, you could use the Alt transpose. It's fine too, because it's not on the surface. You could press R and rotate. Yeah, there is a, I'm not sure if that's still on, but Pixologic. It's called a Pixologic Classroom, and there are basics. For different tools. Oh, it's not about English. Just watch them twice or more, and what you should do is try that all, because if you want to use a tool or feature, you're going to forget that. It's like a other language, you know. If you don't use words, You forget them. And second, it's called Ask ZBrush. One 194 short. They are like a short widths, 3 minutes, and you could ask on Twitch or not Twitch, Twitter, if you hashtag Ask ZBrush and ask for something specific, they could create a short video about it. Don't try to see them all in one day, because you won't absorb all information. You have to be slow, like gain information in some level. Some people could remember a lot more than others, but still, if you don't use them, you need to create something like a muscle memory for that program. And after a while, it's just repeating. If you create a bag or something and you're going to create another one, you probably still use the same tools. But it takes time. It is free, but there's a main reason why some people pay for education, because you could get something like a compressed package of information or important input informations, because some of them it's like there are tools for modeling, but if you do models for 3D printing, it is different for games or movies, but still you could use the same tools in ZBrush and they could help you. It's Sea of Thieves is similar to I think yeah, I know it's all now, no? Release. I know it's similar to another game Ubisoft is working on. It's inspired by sea battles from Assassin's Creed, but Sea of Thieves is different and from different company. Other one is Skull and Bones or something like that. I play Don't Starve now and Hades was on Steam for I think 10 or 15 euros. And I like the style, it's like repeating all again. After that we'll go again. I played a Dead Cell before. I don't like Dark Souls, but latest Sekiro was great. If Elden Ring gets a special offer or some GOTY edition, I go for Elden Ring. Sekiro was only game I bought for full price in recent years. So yeah, I haven't played any good game from Japan or with ninja type guys. subdiv switching, because it's better to change the main shape with low poly. If you have something like this, and you could make a big change, something like this. It's better to do that low poly than high poly, because high poly deform differently. And secondly, if you draw detail on a surface and move that, you destroy the detail. But if you go low, move and go back again, ZBrush keeps details a bit better. Because you could, it's hard to, like, if you want to create a shape, some kind of a shape, it's better to do that in low poly. If you have a skin or something already on that. Same here. There are veins or something, and if I move that, That's bad. I had a I had a complication last week with internet because of heat. I think there was an overheating of the internet node. They have like a box on every second street or something, and they combine all cables together. And today was a really good day, warm and sunny. There is a new movie on Disney Plus from World of Predator. It's called Prey. No, I'm never satisfied with. No, it's you try to do your best, and in a couple of years you see the imperfections anyway. That's evolution of. It's for myself. I don't. I could stop or do something with my models as long as I want. No, because I'm not focused on the speed or something. I could spend years with one model or jumping between different models and never finish any. But if you do that for pay job, it's a total different story. Most of the time they want it yesterday. But I don't call myself artist. I just making things most of the time from some like original. I just copy and stuff. Most of the time, biggest moments are if I make something useful. Yeah, it's probably true. Even for modeling, in this, I don't have any. This mesh is basic, but you could have a model with tons of small details and on this I like building a mass of fibers with builder brush. I like that I'm just relaxing. There's no important purpose for this figure. I'm going to print it, maybe try to sell that data, but that's all. Čau, neobjektivní rodič. Perfektně to jde, já se tady hraju s tím, s Oro ze Street Fighter, tak pořád to hrozně tak přeměňuju. Až jednou budu jako happy s tím, jak to bude vypadat. Ale v podstatě nespěchám, protože mám tam nějaké projekty, které bych jako chtěl dělat dál, ale nechce se mi do toho pouštět nějaké, tak jako, to jsou většinou nějaké komplikované, tady můžeme tak přetláčet různě vertexy a teda budu tisknout toho, vyleznout z toho, z Don't Starve Together. Jsem zvědavý, jak to dopadne. To 3D tisku rezinového, to je vždycky překvapení. Člověk neví vždycky 2-3 hodiny, jestli z toho něco vůbec bude, jestli to přilepilo na podložku a podobně. Včera to bylo celkem živo, protože Lena Sculpting jsem poslala raid ke 20 lidem, prostě hype. Škoda, že to nebyl nějaký ten věčný komentátor. To tady moderujou. A jo. Oni to je takové, ta dynamika toho streamování, vůbec to nechápu. Někdy ve čtvrtek prostě přijdou lidi, někdy tady není noha celý týden, je to prostě jak kdo může, no. Tak je tam jeden streamer ze Zlína, snaží se streamovat vlastně game development v Unity. Nějaké hry. Se to nějak něco s unicornem, ale asi nespomenu. Dneska ještě budu končit dřív, protože se chci buď podívat na toho, na Sandmana, anebo ještě na ten Prey, ale nejsou si jistý, který z nich bude dřív. Ještě bych usnul. Ten... Kusy nenajdu. Co si badali, skladali shop. Tam právě vždycky chvilka má je svoje zajímavé věci asi, ale bohužel říkám to streamování zabere tolik času, že člověk nemá ještě čas sledovat další lidi. Jo, tady tohle. Mělo by to být i kombinace, kdyby si je anglicky možná, protože tam je problém s tím, že když je tam těch málo lidí, tak stejně ten člověk té angličtině dřív nebo později sklouzne. A nevím, jako já jsem sledoval víc, když jsem měl čas, tak toho Coffee Harryho. A teďka nemám čas, jsem tam ho tady šeru na tom svém. A bylo zajímavé, že to, a teďka byl ta tvář Twitche, to bylo celkem zajímavé, že dostali prostor ti, ne gameři, ale dokonce jsem ho viděl by ve Zíně. Jel si pro kolo nebo něco, jsem se rovna to měl puštěné chvilku. Ale bohužel většinou fakt mám na těch ostatních kanálech mám takový lurker v pozadí, protože to není čas vůbec nic. 50, dobrá, počkej, diska moje. To někde tady je, to čo není. Čo ne z Prahy, ne? Vlastně diska moje, ani nevím. Já jsem ho potkal. Normálně osobně, na pivu. On přišel na ten, jak byl ten splash. Tak jsme tam... Bohužel splash je teďka tenhle rok zase zrušený kvůli asi právě hostům, protože sehnat někoho dopředu, když člověk neví, jak to... Fakt? To je u Vsetína? Aha, já jsem nevěděl, že to právě, já jsem viděl, že to postavil ten stan. Aha, takže to já se tam musím podívat. To je dobré, Vsetín je pěkný, tam ty kopce jsou pěkné. Jsem vlastně teďka nedávno jsme byli, asi před 2 týdnama jsme byli na Lysé hoře, vlastně tak trošku jako nad Vsetín nahoru. A tam ty kopce jsou pěkné. To je dobré vědět. Mé to právě bylo divné, že on právě si přijel pro kolo a že jde domů. A tam s tím, co se v tom nedá koupat, tam je my jsme byli vlastně na té šanci a pak z šance jsme šli na Lysou horu a tam je zakázané koupání, to vlastně zdroj pitné vody a myslím si, že ta přehrada, ta druhá, co je vedle, tak taky nic, ale potom ta Bečva, tam jsou nějaké my jsme tam spali v kempu a tam bude pěkná kosa, tyjo, ale za chvilku. To je super, tak to tam teda se muset podívat. co tam děje, jako, protože mně se to líbilo, ta idea jako s tím stanem je super. Nebo jako s takovou lestou stavbou, protože žena má prostě pořád tak jako, že by nejradši se vykašlala na nějaké domy a to žila prostě někde v nějakém takovém méně náročném. To nevím, no. Tam záleží, jak to má celé vymyšlené. No. Každopádně mrznout začne pořádně až někdy, až v prosinci, co si pamatuju, tak do prosince minulý rok ani nemrzlo pořádně. Jako jo, spadne ta teplota, ale těžko říct. Já jsem to moc nesledoval, jak to má nachystané, ale vím, že tam měla i podlahu nějakou lepší. Já to se podívám, to jsem půjdu mrknout potom někdy. Když je to od Setína Korňa, to je skoro za rohem. A jako s ním byl fajn pokec, on je, ale ten splash, když je, tak to doporučuji všem, kdo dělají jako 3Dčko, vizuál nebo cokoliv, protože tam byli super lidi, se tam potká člověk fakt jako s profíkama, kteří jej hirujou třeba do větších studií a tak. Já jsem tam s tím já jsem tam seděl na pivu. Byl tam vlastně i Vávra ten rok, ale naposled jsem tam seděl. Já tam byl, tyjo. Taky nějaký co dělali hry. Pak jsou tam z toho progresivu z Prahy a tak z těch z UPPI. Teďka ten mladý jeden, co dělá Nuke, tak jel do toho. A je teďka v ILM. V Austrálii, to jsem ani nevěděl, že v Austrálii je ILM. Jak člověk nemá teďka, jak nemá rodinu, nebo to tak doporučuji se zajímat o zahraniční práci, jako to bomba. Ale jak už je to prostě s rodinou a to, tak to už je pytli, protože člověk se furt stěhuje a záleží teda jako co je jeho dream, že jo, někdo má jako dream celoživotním natáčet filmy, no. Když má člověk co říct, tak určitě to doporučuji, no. Nějak to, že osloví nebo pomůže víc lidem motivovat k něčemu zase jinému. Ohledně toho splashe, tak tam bylo jediná nevýhoda, nebo to, že třeba jsou lidi, kteří neměli anglicky a první ty několik, co jsem tam byl, těch ročníků, tak byli třeba mixlé nebo převládali Češi a pak postupem času se dařilo jako schánět i zahraniční hosty a už to zase třeba některé kamarády odradilo, že už Protože to 3D stejně může člověk dělat na jako několika jako úrovních v podstatě. Nějaká lokální. Vždycky někdo potřebuje něco vyrobit. Pak nějaká ta vyšší mezinárodní a pak je tam ten top, to je úplně nahoře. A to už potřebuje mít člověk vytvořený ten brand svůj a hlavně lidi okolo sebe, které zná z profi. A mě to potěšilo, jsem teďka sice nedělám normálně produkt modely nebo tak, ale napsali mi kluci z Anglie nějací a dělal jsem pro ně nějaké kabelky těch Gucci a tak. No to celkem fajn. Já takové věci normálně nedělám, jakože moc, ale mě to nebaví, je to takové hodně nezáživné v podstatě, ale po další době jsem si to zkusil. Ten jeden co jsou ti Češi jako v Anglii, tak oni mají to Man and Machine, co dělají vizuál. A hodně z nich jako pracuje právě třeba v cinemě, no, jakože co dělají ten, protože to kombinují třeba s afterama. Tak ono tam jde o to, že ten vlastně jo, aj. No ten Man Machine právě tam ten byl ten Lukáš Vojíř, oni to nějak, pak měli to svoje studio. Pak vím, že to ten Zoomka, taky, pro něho jsem taky co si dělal. Jo, no, já jsem to. Se Zoomkou, právě Zoomka byl, ten Ondra, byl na tom Splashi byl. A vlastně já jsem když si pomáhal, jako, nějak to, ohledně toho, jak on dělal ty hlavy a takové, tak já vím, že jsme si nějak psali nebo něco. Oni tam jednou dobu jeli takový ten na ten Instagram ty věci. A hodně to, protože oni já ho ne vůbec, to Houdini je úplně na opačné straně mého spektra. Jako láká mě to, ale bohužel už není na to vlastně ani čas, nebo jako prostě jsem to zkoušel, nějaké procedurální modelování tam bylo pomocí nodů a víc to využiju třeba v tom Blenderu teďka uvedli nody na modelování, tak celkem se mi líbilo, co jsem dělal teďka update na Cinemu, tam bylo modelování pomocí křivek a pak dokreslování toho meše, to bylo pěkné. To myslím na level 80. bylo pěkné, to se mi líbilo. Tady tohle, nevím, jestli jsi to viděl. Že vlastně pomocí splineu se udělá jenom obrys a vlastně potom ten volume to dodělá. Je to nějaký placený plugin pravděpodobně. Ale jako na to modelování je to super. Yeah, probably yes. I'm not sure, but looks like it. But there is another TV series from Canada, Bear versus no Lemmings, but Bear. And it's on Netflix now. It's about yeah, it's not bad. It's a grizzly and the lemmings. I could say it's a not brand new, but 2016. My sons like that. It's funny. It's like a old coyote versus bird. Já teďka ohledně modelování zvažuji ten 3D Code. Ten 3D Code má docela dobrý pricing jako na updaty a tak. Ale se má rozdělané texturování zvlášť, já jsem chtěl, aby to bylo dohromady s tím PBR s texturováním, ale zase to tam chybí, takže prostě nevím. No. Strašně mě zajímá Otoj, protože Otoj začal dělat svůj vlastní sculpting tool. Nevím, jestli je voxelový nebo jaký. No teď třeba že ten Lukáš Luis má tenhle profil asi nějaký, nevím, jak je to staré, ale tam jsou prostě produkt brandy. Jo, viděl jsi demo nebo něco? Tam jde o to, že tam vysocháš něco a pak to proměníš v cloud. Tady je vlastně to, jmenuje se to Sculptron a je to prostě základ nějaký, ale nevím, asi to baseline na tom na nějakých voxelech nebo něco. Takže to uvidím, určitě to mě zajímalo Substance dělá taky. A jo, a u toho u Sculptronu, jako tam je to nějak zadarmo. On je na subscription, ten Sculptron, jako že to funkční tool, jestli dělal na auto, tak to tam mají. A je tam nějaký prostě nabídka Vacuumu, když si dáš to. Asi odešli od Pixologiku, protože to vzal Maxon, tak se nějak asi rozešli, nevím. Už to tam není. Tady u toho sochání, když si člověk není jistý, no, jestli to má dobře, tak doporučuji třeba insertovat cube a normálně může si takhle dát cube, dát jako poslední tool a dát normálně cut a může se takhle podívat, jaký má vlastně profil toho místa, které prostě socha, protože když se člověk podívá do anatomických knížek, tak tam jsou nějaké základní profily těch třeba když dám legs a je tam nevím, jestli něco najdu hnedka, ale tam je prostě něco takového, no. Takže člověk se může podívat vlastně, jaký ten průřez má ta noha. A ono to bývá na některých těch knihách. V některých těch knihách to bývá rozkreslené, jak je ten průřez vlastně na tom místě. Bývá to když bývají drawing a reference, tak tam to bývá hodně. A to musím akorát dát bochem, ať tam nevyskočí něco, za co bych dostal nějaký nemilý stop. Ale třeba v té knížce o anatomii, tak tam to právě je ta anatomie pro skulptury, tak tam bývá ten náhled těch průřezů. Jak to vypadá zhruba? Zkusím najít. Jo, tady třeba. A to je zrovna torzo, tyjo. A je. Blbý. No ty prostě jsou samé takové nudobrázky, když to nic z toho nebude, jako. Prčic. No dobře, tak já to udělám jinak. Dejme tomu, že bych vzal, tady mám tools a mám tady, tady ten je, snad tam nebude nic. Tak peš. Jo, to je prostě scan. Ten je třeba oblečený, člověk se právě může vzít insert cube, cut, normálně najet na tu a podívat se třeba, jak ta noha jaká ta noha má ten průřez. Prostě to, jak se to vyvíjí v tom profilu. Třeba vypadá koleno, nevypadá lítko. A tak podobně. No a pak je tam ještě jeden skulptovací, co by stál možná časem, a ten je od toho, od právě od té virtual sculpting. Tak se to jmenuje, tyjo. Tam si mají stahoval ten program. Já nemám ho nainstalovaný možná. O něco od Adobe. Není to Substance Painter, ale to byl nějaký... Jo, Adobe Medium se to jmenuje. A je to na VR teda. Thanks for follow. Chrissy Zero. Chrissy. Ten Adobe to je vlastně normálně VR. Normálně VR. Voxelový. Co můžu doporučit, teda jako když se někdo nudí, tak do mobilu nebo do tabletu. Jmenuje se to Nomad. About the UVs, you have to place the UV seams where are mostly hidden. Because there is it's not the rule, but you have to for seams for clothes, you could put the seams as normal seams. Best way is check the someone's work. Game character UV image. And you could see immediately where to put the seams. It's like a face. Seams are at the back. Body looks like a cloth. This UV unwrap is from ZBrush. I hate this, but see here, you could see seams. Sometimes you could cheat, or not cheat, but you could use half of the mesh on the other side. But It's a bit. It's like there is a difference between UVs for games and UVs for movies. And same for now. What is your plan with character? And this is the efficiency of UV space. You should have something like this, not like that. Because in a ZBrush you have to UV unwrapping is for texturing artists. You have to if you want to paint on a model and export model from ZBrush to another application, you need to UVs. There is one thing. It's called a texture density. You could have a equal density on the whole character, or you could change density if character is for game, like a third person, first person, because you could save a space. You could make like texturing. You need to, if you want to do just sculpting, you need to look for like a concept modeling or 3D printing companies, because this is a lovely example of Sentinel by Marco. He streams sometimes on Twitch at the middle of the night, and this is for 3D printing. There is no need for UVs, but sometimes even for 3D printing you need UVs if you want to create a surface details. I Google texture density. And you don't need to worry about this. These are orders from your supervisor. If you're going to do something, he asks you to keep some kind of a texture density. There is no rule for that, because some people working on the games in mobile sector or PC consoles, and each console and each hardware needs a bit different settings, UV maps and that stuff. Even game engines are different because handle the textures differently. Like lots of people using Unreal Engine, but some could say Unity Engine is better because handle lighting and that stuff better. Other companies use their own tools, but now companies try to save the money and they're using Unreal Engine because they don't need to pay their own development, and they could get the more skilled people ready for work. Because if you have your own engine, people have to learn how to create lots of stuff in the program or software. Even there is a Czech company or Czech studio, Warhorse, and they were working on Kingdom Come Deliverance, and they started painting like assets in Photoshop because they couldn't find enough skilled people with Substance Painter in that time, and it's very difficult to implement new tools into pipeline because people have to relearn stuff, and if you work every day, it's very hard to get the time to educate yourself with new tools and applications. And 3D artist is a very stressful place because you could be replaced by someone new who handle a new tool better because it's faster. Or people talk about like a blender, you can't get the job, but I ask a couple of small studios, they don't care. They just need to good looking, models and characters. Even with Blender, they actually save money on your work because they don't need to pay a license. A couple years back, there were problems with exporting, importing stuff to another applications, but it's getting better. There is Alembic file and new types of files every year to help the export animations from one software to another. Even Unreal or Epic invest money into Blender development. Couple years back, they actually secretly paid for FBX export in Blender because they had to re-engineer that import exporter. Or page like Sketchfab for models presentation, they're running on a Blender because guy behind Sketchfab, he's main like a article writer on Blender what's it called, Blender Nation. Or I don't know even know if still page on. Oh yeah. Yeah, and actually, like Sketchfab is owned by an Epic, probably. Yeah, it's owned by an Epic. Oh yeah, time's flying. What's wrong? Swearing, you know, bot won't allow any swearing. About texturing, if about the texturing, it's probably better to place all islands like if you rotate the head and you could see the face, because it's bad to texturing, you know, because in free in what's called substance painter you could make a, or even in a ZBrush you could make a texture flat. Oh, for example, this I could create a UV map, something like this. I hide on one side, unwrap my polygons. I could flatten that, see, and it's best for me if I have a star rotated as it on a picture, because I go subdivide, crease all, subdivide a couple times, and I could sculpt. Okay, more. Okay, I could sculpt on it, and if I flatten it, I'll see. It's good to turn it. But if you can't, something. But if you got the job, or someone order you to make a model of something, you should ask that guy about more information. You should play dumb, you know, ask question all the time. Because you need to get as much information as you can. That prevent misunderstanding and other stuff. Because you could work 2, 3, 4 more days on a model, and after that they say, okay, nice, but we want the extra legs or extra something. And even for pricing, you know, you have to ask what is it for, how estimated time, how long does it take. It's for you. It's sometimes even I'm streaming or people message me and ask me to make a some cool soldier for them into the for a game or something, and I ask, okay, give me a concept art, or I because it's not like that, concept art is a very difficult part of the modeling, and hard to set the price, because you eventually don't know how long does it take, because you could rework and rework, and that best way is ask for more info or ask for references and notes. And if people refuse to give that anything, then you can't estimate the price for work. Simple. For learning purposes, you could accept work, and sometimes you work for not for free, but it's you estimate maybe work for 10 hours, and at the end you work double. But if that is a new job or perspective stuff, or making new friends, and that's good if people start in a young age as a hobby and create lots of good pieces into portfolio. It's hard to work on your own projects and for clients. I like a sculpting because my job is completely different. Now it's you basically about the unwrapping Pitorino. It's you need to unwrap before you if you go for sculpting details, you need to have a UV set already. But there are ways around. For example, this guy, I could create a UV maps now and reproject all details to new mesh with UV maps, because if I need to. Simplest way, if I take this, I duplicate the body, I go low, erase, delete higher, leave this. I have a couple polygroups, and I have to keep vertex order or vertex poly count. If I change that, it won't work. Now I could create a zip UV map, unwrap, flatten. It's not perfect, but it's just to show you idea. Now, since the previous mesh has the same low poly, I could go low as subdiv, pick up the one with UV maps, say copy UVs, go to high res, paste UVs, and now I have a UV map on this mesh, and if I go like a free this, I could bake a normal map, for example. Normal map, create a normal map. And now I have a normal map for this mesh. Now I could clone and export. Save before? No, not yet. But now if I export this mid poly, I export a mesh. I could open a Blender. I haven't said anything. Then there could be problem with shading, normal maps, and so on. But it's just a quick example how to make work. See, I have a Aura body import. It's not highest level, but I could set shading for shade smooth, material preview. I could go to shader, shader editor, open the file, take a normal map and place it into a normal map. Just I need to add a see, there are details. It's not perfect because there are flip normals, something like that. But you could see I export some details. And you can export displacement maps. It's store deformations, and because they use the ZBrush in the industry, they use the ZBrush for face animations. If they work on like a digital double character, you could go now, like you could go to layers. Layers could store like a morph target, or morph target like a shape. Then you could record one, name a smile, shape, After that, another one, anger. And if you work with Maya, you export these morph and you could use them in animation. Yeah, that's why they ask if someone works on characters, they have to actually create a set of emotion sheets for characters, even for games. It's not simple in these days because characters looks like real now, and you have to give them lots of emotions and expressions. That's a lot of work. Ralph Grassetti from Santa Monica, he worked on God of War Kratos maybe a year or more, and just on a mesh, and after that you have to create all face expressions for game. Sculpting is fun, but for modeling job there is many other layers of skills and information you need to have. Sometimes it's actually better to pay some kind of a membership or something to get the tutorials from professionals for average software, because you will learn faster and you could get the job sooner. And you have to imagine there is many other people looking for same job or trying to get same job. Nope, same. You need to have same skills, even for this is a dynamic pose, and this is a dynamic pose, and you could, or if you need to, you could make him kick or something, or jump, and create a film of motion. There is a shortage of animators now, but what I've seen about AI, they actually could replace, or some, some stuff in animation, they could replace that with AI, because AI could, if you do animation, you could replace couple. Even now with CGI, you have just main keyframes, and computer calculates other frames, and you don't need to have all frames by yourself. I remember one story from animation studio in Czech. They create a movie in CG, and animators didn't know how to work with softwares. Then they actually animate each frame. Because it was in early years of CGI animation. Or they know, but they didn't trust. They didn't trust the computer to make frames. There's a nice, cool video about Arcane from Netflix. It's a short making of. They are French. The game is from US, but Arcane TV series made in France. Actually, pixel art is one of the separate art styles. It's not making a sprites for animation. It's not easy job too. See this? It's a metal slug. Metal slug sprites for game, and you have to draw all of them pixel by pixel to create a good looking stuff. And these are frame by frame drawings for movement of boss in sprites, explosions, average paint pixel by pixel. Metal Slug is a good game. It's from 90s, I think. '96. Oh, in that time, it's from now. If you see that, and looking back on it, it looks easy, and we have a lot of tools. But in that time, solving problems and make it looks good and readable. It's like there is a story about a mustache of Mario, and they actually had to add a mustache because, or the pixels for it, because there were other problems to make a sprites. And actually, I could recommend a good TV series on Netflix about game history. There are some mentions for Nintendo, Mario, and how Doom was made, and game that makes us. It's called High Score. Even today, some people play text games because they like the style of that. No, should be there, no? Because resin print is going to print that. And if someone used the airbrush for painting, it's lots of stuff is visible still because it's not covered by paint. I print a bust of Taki already, and I could see on small stitches on that on the neck I made. I don't have a close-up picture because phone isn't make anything of it. But I could show you. I took these are details I made on a see, it's still visible, and the printer is not one of the best. No, I have actually a brush at home for 10 or more years. I haven't used that for painting. Just yesterday I opened the box and I got a primer from Vallejo, black one and white, and just paint the whole model in black. And as I mentioned yesterday, I painted black and now I paint the white. And after that I'm going to paint the main colors, like there's a red, main red. Body will be red and black. Very just basic colors, nothing special. But airbrush won't cover all these details. They keep them. If you use a brush and you go over these wrinkles, most of the time, dips are filled with paint and details are gone. Details are gone and you never get them back. This is why I go for airbrush in the future. If I make a couple part-time jobs in the future, I'll pay for better airbrush. I got some cheap one. It's like €100 or less. Nothing special, fancy. It's like this set, similar. Ciao River. Makám na noze. Vallejo paints are non-toxic, then I don't wear any mask or anything, and airbrush is better than aerosol sprays. And everything's, very thin coat. Everything's visible. I show you progress after tomorrow. It should dry 24 hours, like a primer coat. I mentioned yesterday with black and white painting. You paint layers over layer, and you could create a better variation of. I've seen a video today about it. Yes, Vallejo Vallejos are non-toxic paints because lots of cans has aerosol or pressure, like a pressured gases and that stuff in it. Just watch the video I share. It's about a primer. But I'm no expert in painting, I'm learning. I just watch lots of videos and I'm trying to choose best way for me, or what I could create in my home environment. Nope. No, because they are. You could load anything you want into airbrush. There is no smell, nothing. Only problem is if you spray it into your eyes, because acrylic paint, I had to Google what's acrylic paint means. Acrylic paint is paint that is based on water, but if all water is dry, paint is resistant to water. Even resin prints, they offer new resin. They are non-toxic or water-based. You could clean them with water. There's new stuff every day. Now I live in a small town. I was thinking about making like live education workshops, but it's city is on the border with Slovakia, and we are almost on the end of the Czech Republic. There's nothing else. Even these streams are like tests for how many people is there or interested in a ZBrush and that stuff. Yeah, but still, it's I could say resin is best for small figures and that stuff. FDM is nice for helmets, cosplay, props, function design. Lots of sanding. Basically, FDM is lots of sanding. I'm thinking about this kind of I was called even in English. So resin painting faster than FDM. Oh, I yes or no? Yes and no. It's if you have a bigger screen on a resin printer, you could print 2, 3, 5 or more objects at once, and it is faster. Because it cures one layer, and it doesn't matter if layer is full of material or just small pin or something. There is a I could say 3 seconds for layer, and you could have a 10 small resin soldiers on a bed or more, and They occur in 3 seconds per layer. FDM, if you have more objects, FDM have to work more. I in a, with FDM I use 3 layers outliner because I know I'm going to sand a lot. After that I use a filler or primer and all details are lost. It's good if for FDM it's good if you have a nice preset for slicer and you do like a one color prints in gold, silver, bronze material. Светлости. Yeah, he's learning. Solo is learning all model making, or 3D model making. Probably. Yeah, it's hard. I learn a lot in first 3 or 4 years. Now I just keep updating, what I know, because stuff is changing with new tools, but basics are same all the time, or like a fundamental stuff, For sculpting is best way to choose a, a crochet sculpting. Create a couple like bugs and animals. Okay. I could show you I have a couple different projects, and one of them is a monkey. Just head. You build from scratch. You choose type of a monkey or primate. On the skull you put the basic muscles, and after that you could place the skin over it. And I use boolean. I could have something like this. It's not perfect yet. But see, you could paint the colors as well to highlight. There's just one problem with bones and muscles on the skin, because I modify the basic shape of the head and it won't fit now. Yeah, it's not sure, but I model a hatch, but I don't. Some that I erased or not erased. Technically, I have a hard drive, and if I fill the hard drive up, I take a hard drive out and put a new one and go for new projects, because sometimes it's 2 terabytes for 2 years, for example, because if I don't need them, I don't look for them. Sometimes I have to use a external USB connection and go for files. For progress, I have I share album on Facebook. It's called A Second Life. Oh, house in Blender. Or no, actually not. I could show it was animation. It was a way back, maybe 2006 or more. I followed a tutorial from Blender Wiki. It's like a 2002 or something. Very old. I hadn't had there was an issue with a computer because I was playing console games, and I used PC just for watching the movies, and that handle maybe a couple of vertices. I have a Heihachi. It's one of the first characters as a close-up. I follow the tutorials from it's called Blender Guru. So many, it's 298 images. I try different renders, different engines, stuff. Yes, it's all mine. 10 years. Just render. Some of them are procedural textures. This is Octane render when they introduced in beta. I bought it for $100. So basic render in Octane. You just need to spend the time on it. Hard part is last 20%. CG cookie challenge pilot. No, it's all just hobbies project. I can't actually post any work I made for other people. It's just, like every I try to learn this one. It's a first print I order on Shapeways. It's on that printer which glues sand together. This one is a test for, I think it's render from Corona spider. No, it's not spider. It's kind of a bug. I like bugs because you learn a lot about the designer. Workouts are good. I should make some like commercial breaks because I'm sitting on a computer very long time every day. Yeah, 298 images. It's for stereoscopic render in Blender. You could use the basic classes and see the. Thanks. It's my version of Yoshimitsu from Tekken. Or a older version. 2011. So many notes. I could go on and on and on. See this. I will see it at the end. It's getting better. Only words for is persistence and just work, work, work. And what's the best rule? Try to make a new project better than before, or choose a different, like a challenge. Because sometimes you create a house, that's fine, it's basic. After that, you could try the car, better shapes. There's a new second step or second phase of and after cars, you could try like a game assets. And after that, humans and that stuff. Was it's hard for me because I have no art education, but people with right background, they could get into ZBrush very quickly. It's just, like a tool, like the time. Okay, probably finish it 2 o'clock. It's getting late and kids won't let me sleep in the morning. No. Some of it's like a work in progress. As I said, try to make a gun, and after that, try to one more and make a better looking gun. It's same with UVs. You ask about how to make a UVs. Just try them. Try to, because only way how you learn is by failing, and nobody can make that for you. You have to fail on your own. Just try and fail, and next project you will know what you should do better. And there are some basic rules about CG, and sometimes they break them anyway. If you watch the documentary about ILM, we have finished tools. We know what we can do with Blender, ZBrush and stuff. But in ILM, they were creators of that stuff, or these programs, and they need to figure out how to animate, how to make bones for dinosaurs and that stuff. And that took a while. And those people are like Einstein. Or visionaries. Because they think of unthinkable. It's breaking the rules. It's same with art. People getting education and about the art, but most known artists broke these laws and created their own style and went on their own path. rebel against the basic system. You know, art is a freestyle. You could make anything. People could like it. You know, some people create a realistic pictures, other cartoon, and they could get the same fame. Uh, Anatomy is hardest part. You know, it's making a likeness of someone. It's very difficult. You could cheat. You know, there are ways how you cheat the sculpting, because you could cheat with reference images on the background and create it very quickly. That's the way for commercial jobs, you know, if you need something quick. But if you study, best ways take just basic sphere of dynamics and start to work with this. Because artists today use the scans, fixing scans, that stuff, but they need to know fundamentals anyway, you know, how to make a people smile or angry. And there is a book from Anatomy for Sculptors about the face expressions. It's not bad too. Basically, there are 2 or 3 books. Basic anatomy, face, and but it's good to pay for like an anatomy tutorial from, I don't know, maybe $3. $3 are cheap. These are from they are from Nextut Education, but these three are from Speechar. Maybe this one as well. This one from Speechar as well. He started to make his own. He started to make his own tutorials because they got paid probably from Nextut, but if he sell it on his own, he could earn more, I guess. Yes, Speechar is great. Yes, yes, there are. There's many big workshops for thousands, smaller ones for 300, and basics for 10 on Udemy. For these are now for 90, but you could get to see this likeness sculpt next to this on Udemy, and flip normals as well. There is a ZBrush 3D printing. But I don't know. I can't say. I haven't seen them all. There should be two. Just Google. You know, it was good. You could replay the. If you don't understand something, you would replay that video again. And you learn new words, like a technical parts of ZBrush. You will learn both English and ZBrush. That's a good deal for one price. Now on YouTube was good. On YouTube you could set this. If you download, what I could recommend, if you download from somewhere files about like a tutorials, and there is a VLC player, you could slow. Sorry. You could slow or speed up the videos. I do that at home. I speed up. You know, if you set something and there is this gear, and you could set the speed to half, or if you have a VLC player, you could set its speed to double. It depends, you know. I know I speak lame in English, but I understand maybe 90%. Maybe 90%. 90% of content. Then I could speed up the videos and save the time. Because more you know, it's hard to get the new tips and tricks, because YouTube is full of same tutorials for same stuff. and learn something new costs a lot. If you know what you are looking for, it's fine. So even better, because you could go for like special stuff, and it's fine too. And work. Oh, I have a advantage because I lived in Belfast. It's not an island. They speak in English there, and I got some stuff or education there as well. I visited a school for foreigners. UK was in Europe Union, then I got the education for free. Because if you are in Europe and you travel to work into another country, you could apply for free education in language, not all, but if you go from Germany to Spain, you could apply for school of Spanish lessons for free. Okay, what's the time? 10 past. Okay, it's bedtime. Haha, I'm going to sleep too. I'm tired as well. There is a guy from Kyrgyzstan. He's Jabba. I don't know if you know him. Chama. He's a concept designer. I send you his Instagram. He's he's really great. His talks are motivating. He worked in Lucasfilm. If you know if you know, there are streamers in Russia as well. I remember there was a guy. He he does ZBrush and 3D Max, but I don't know now. He sells some stuff like tutorials on ArtStation, but problem is he's doing work in different softwares, and he's focused on concept design, not modeling itself. See this? Look, it's a sculpt in the 3D code. But it's these are just tools, you know. And 3D code is cheaper than ZBrush at the moment. Yeah, but lacks of like performance. There is at least on my computer, you need to better graphic card. Okay, then I have to go. Good night, everyone. See you next time. Follow, subscribe. Subscribe. Wow. Don't waste the money. Because Twitch pays only if people earn more than $50 a month. Better is to support people on Twitch by donation than subscribe.